She stated that she had died 10 days after giving birth to her son. Shanti Devi provided detailed descriptions of her previous life, including her husband's name, the layout of her house, and the various incidents from her past life.
But now that you don't have a body, these 10 years may telescope into 1,000 years. So this is the reason always they told you should never die of suicide, you never should be murdered, accidental death is bad, because now your limbo situation is long, very, very long, because you have no discriminatory mind, we don't know which way you will roll, and the chances of finding another womb are very little because you're in a certain level of intensity you cannot find. So unless you come to the right level of intensity, you are not suitable to take on a new body. So if you died of old age, energies became feeble, everything is fine with your body, you went to bed and you never woke up. Such a person may get back into another womb within 48 hours. You as a person never want to leave because you want to be an endless psychological drama. But life wants to leave at a certain time. Whether you like it, you don't like it, life wants to leave because it doesn't want to be trapped in the physical form that you have gathered forever. It doesn't want. It enjoys the physical form only to a certain length of time. After that, even if everything is well, many lives leave. You will see this particularly in India. Yogis will decide when to leave. When they're very healthy and well, they sit down and they leave. Other people think, why he was healthy, why should he leave? So you want to get sick and die? Do you want to suffer in the hospital for 3 years and then only leave? Is that the only way to go?
No.
Please listen to this carefully because this is a situation. I'm not trying to trample on anything, but I want you to listen to this carefully. Is it true that the final thing that you do in your life is death? Hello?
Yes.
So the last thing that you do in your life, is it not very important that you do it gracefully?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
You're all from Los Angeles, you must do it in style, isn't it? At least gracefully. Is it also not important that other lives who are around us, when their time comes, we must facilitate that they must be able to live gracefully, not make them a victim of medical industry that's going on around us? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Tell me, what purpose does it serve if you stretch a life which is about to exit now for another 3 months with all kinds of supports, 3 months you stretched it in pain and misery, what does it mean? It just means that you're ignorant about the nature of life and you want to cling to something that you know and you don't want to know anything that you do not know. It's very important. We know the person, we know this person and this person and this person, that's fine. We've enjoyed their personalities, but you have not touched the nature of their life. Because unless you touch the nature of your life, you cannot touch the nature of another life. So the most important thing we need to do is, we don't have to talk about death, prepare for death, nothing is needed. What we need to do is, beyond this body, which we have gathered, which you agreed with me that you accumulated this, beyond this mind, which is also an accumulation of impressions and information, beyond your accumulations, if you sit here right now and experience the life that you are, you will have absolutely no issue with any aspect of life, which includes death. Death is not another thing. Death is an ongoing thing. Right now, all of us are dying slowly. One day it'll be complete. You think it's going to suddenly happen one day? It is already on, isn't it? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Is it not on? It is on in every one of us. Should we not conduct this process? See, you can call this right now, I can say I'm living. Another way of saying it is, I'm dying. I'm dying right now. We want to stretch it as much as we can. But to know this experientially, not trying to figure this intellectually is most important, because intellectually if you figure, you will always be one against the other, because this is the nature of intellect, that intellect cannot perceive anything without creating two. So you have created life and death. There's no such thing as life and death. Life and death is one package, isn't it? Hello?
Yes.
It's one package. As we are living, as we are also dying right now. The question is how gracefully you do it. If you learn to do this moment absolutely gracefully, you will also conduct that moment absolutely gracefully. That is not a different kind of moment, that's the same moment. In the yogic science, it goes like this. Every inhalation you are born, every exhalation you die. When you were born as a little infant, the first thing that you did was inhalation, isn't it? What do you think is the last thing you will do? Exhalation, isn't it? Right now when you sit here, inhalation, exhalation, inhalation, exhalation, inhalation, exhalation, next inhalation did not happen, and suddenly a big man is gone, poof. Yes or no?
Yes.
That's how fragile it is. I want you to see this. Every moment it's happening. If this exhalation which went out, if it doesn't come back, this one is gone. How many things a man can do? But at the same time, just see how fragile this is. You're yo-yoing with your life every moment. If you don't know how to pull it back, it will go away. But it doesn't feel like that right now. I'm real. I'm not going to die today. A whole lot of people thought so before you and me. We must understand mortality is the fundamental reality of our existence. If you do not come to terms with this one thing, believe me, you don't know any other aspect of life in reality. You know only the drama. Because this is the most fundamental nature of our existence, that we are mortal. When we are born, it is declared that we are going to die, isn't it? How long is the only question. So if there is substantial amount of information still stored, which is the karma, the karmic substance is still strong, then once, suppose you left out of feebleness of energy, that is, you became old, energies became feeble and it rested for some time. So this kind of life energy just rests for some time without too much activity. But suppose the energies did not become feeble, but you broke the body by accident or suicide, or somebody shot you in the head, or somebody broke your heart, whichever way you broke the body and you left, energies were still intense. Now, this will take a long time for it to become feeble without the body and the mind. If you had a regular body and a discriminatory mind, let us say you would have worked out your karma in the next 10 years and made the energies feeble. But now that you don't have a body, these 10 years may telescope into 1,000 years. So this is the reason always they told you should never die of suicide, you never should be murdered, accidental death is bad, because now your limbo situation is long, very, very long, because you have no discriminatory mind, we don't know which way you will roll, and the chances of finding another womb are very little. Because you're in a certain level of intensity, you cannot find. So unless you come to the right level of intensity, you are not suitable to take on a new body. So if you died of old age, energies became feeble, everything is fine with your body, you went to bed and you never woke up. Such a person may get back into another womb within 48 hours. But a person who died by breaking his body, either by accident or otherwise, this person may take we don't know how long, depending upon what level of intensity and how much of the information is still there, unworked out. We are going into areas which needs much more elaboration if it needs to be properly understood. Speaking just like this is not good. That's why we always joke about it and skip, we never talk about it, because it will lead to all kinds of imaginations.
Yeah.
Unhealthy imagination.
Lead me to believe in spirits and ghosts.
Yes,
Yes, okay.
which is not
No,
needed.
not needed.
Because then people start… every dark corner they see, they'll start seeing things.
Yeah.
And you can make horror movies and make money, because a lot of people have wild imagination anyway.
Or tendencies.
No, they're all existing by tendencies, not
Yeah.
by that is the whole difference. When we talk spirituality, we're essentially talking about moving from compulsiveness to consciousness. Functioning through tendencies to functioning through discriminatory process. That is the key from bondage to freedom.
Okay. I understand why we need to change this topic, because it can get very… it is much more
Yes.
complex than we're talking about
Yes,
now, and…
it's too simplistic the way
Yes.
I'm putting it right now.
Yeah.
There have been numerous claimed cases of reincarnation, some of which have gained significant attention and scrutiny over the years. Here are 5 of the most famous reincarnation cases. The case of Shanti Devi. Shanti Devi was born in Delhi, India in 1926. At the age of 4, she began claiming that her real home was in Mathura, where she lived with her husband and son. She stated that she had died 10 days after giving birth to her son. Shanti Devi provided detailed descriptions of her previous life, including her husband's name, the layout of her house, and the various incidents from her past life. Her story attracted significant attention, and a committee of prominent citizens was formed to investigate her claims. The committee travelled to Mathura and found that a woman named Lugdi Devi was indeed lived there and matched Shanti Devi's description. Lugdi Devi had died in childbirth, just as Shanti Devi had claimed. Moreover, Lugdi Devi's husband Kedarnath and son were still living in Mathura. The case of Shanti Devi gained international attention, with Mahatma Gandhi taking a personal interest in it. While some skeptics have questioned the accuracy of the investigation and suggested that Shanti Devi could have obtained the information through normal means, others find the case compelling evidence of reincarnation. The case of James Lininger. James Lininger, born in 1998 in Louisiana, USA, began having vivid nightmares about being a World War II pilot at the age of 2. He would scream about being shot down by the Japanese and would recall specific details about his aircraft, the USS Natoma Bay, and his fellow pilots. James also mentioned the name Jack Larson, who turned out to be a real pilot who served with James Houston Jr., the pilot James claimed to have been. James' parents were initially baffled by his claims, but eventually began researching them. They discovered that James Houston Jr. had indeed served on the USS Natoma Bay and had died in a crash during the Battle of Iwo Jima. James' knowledge of specific details about the aircraft and the events of World War II astounded researchers. The case of James Lininger has been extensively studied and has appeared in books and documentaries. While skeptics have proposed various explanations, including the possibility of exposure to information about the war through media or family conversations, others find the case compelling evidence of reincarnation. The case of Dorothy Eddy. Dorothy Eddy, born in London in 1904, had a remarkable life that led her to believe she was the reincarnation of an ancient Egyptian priestess named Benrich. At the age of 3, Dorothy fell down a flight of stairs and later began exhibiting strange behavior, claiming to be a reincarnated Egyptian. She developed an obsession with ancient Egypt and displayed an uncanny knowledge of its customs, language, and religious practices. As an adult, Dorothy moved to Egypt, where she worked as an archaeologist and became known as Om Seti. She spent much of her life living near the temple of Seti I in Abydos and claimed to have visions and encounters with ancient Egyptian spirits. Om Seti's knowledge of Egyptology and her ability to accurately predict archaeological discoveries astonished researchers. While skeptics have suggested that Om Seti's beliefs were the result of psychological factors or a desire for fame, others find her story intriguing and suggestive of the possibility of reincarnation. The case of Bridie Murphy. In the 1950s, the case of Bridie Murphy captured the public's imagination when a Colorado housewife named Virginia Tische claimed to remember her past life as an Irish woman named Bridie Murphy. Under hypnosis, Virginia provided detailed descriptions of Bridie's life in 19th century Ireland, including her family, home, and community. The case sparked controversy and debate, with skeptics questioning the authenticity of Virginia's memories. Some researchers suggested that Virginia may have inadvertently absorbed information about Ireland through books, movies, or conversations, and then unconsciously fabricated the details of Bridie Murphy's life. While the Bridie Murphy case remains one of the most famous examples of claimed past life memories, it also highlights the challenges of verifying such claims and distinguishing genuine memories from confabulation or suggestion. The case of Cameron Macaulay. Cameron Macaulay, a boy from Scotland, claimed to remember his past life as a man named Shane Robertson, who lived on the remote Scottish island of Barra. Cameron provided detailed descriptions of Shane's life, family, and home, despite having never visited Barra in his current life. His parents, intrigued by Cameron's claims, began researching the details he provided. They found that many aspects of Cameron's story matched historical records, including the existence of a man named Shane Robertson who had lived on Barra and died in a motorcycle accident. The case of Cameron Macaulay generated media attention and renewed interest in claims of reincarnation. While skeptics have proposed various explanations for Cameron's memories, including the possibility of coincidence or fabrication, others find the case intriguing and suggestive of the possibility of reincarnation. In conclusion, these 5 cases represent some of the most famous and extensively studied examples of claimed past life memories. While skeptics may question the validity of these claims and propose alternative explanations, others find them compelling evidence of the possibility of reincarnation. Regardless of one's stance on the matter, these cases continue to fascinate and provoke thought about the nature of consciousness and the mysteries of human existence.